All right, welcome back for episode number 4 of the DDSN Golf Betting Show. This week, we're at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. We're going to be at two courses this weekend, Pebble Beach as well as Spyglass Hill. Let's get into it. But first, let's review last weekend. We had a great time at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. It should have been an even better weekend for us. We destroyed our matchups. We did great on our matchups. We didn't take home any outright winner. Unfortunately, I was on the cusp of picking Hideki, but instead I went with Sahith Thagala. Big mistake. I probably will not make that mistake again. Thagala not only didn't make a push on the weekend, but he also fell out of the top 10 where I really needed him to finish. At least I would have been happy with that. But him and Maverick McNeely both fall out of the top 10 where we needed to cash to make it an even better weekend. But still, we picked up, I believe it was 2.61 units, excuse me. So still a good tournament. We win another tournament. We're 2-1 on the season. Let's get into Pebble Beach, and let's start off with our outrights. So right now we have Research, who's got us in the money with Chris Goddard to begin the season. He's got Akshay Bhatia, 70-1. You can find that at Bet Online Offshore. Haas is riding the hot golfer here. He's been cashing for us week after week, and that's Ryo Hitatsune. He had a great chance to win last weekend, but in the end, he didn't have what it took on Sunday to close out a tournament, but maybe he does this weekend. It looks like it's going to be pretty windy, so this should be interesting how Rio's going to play in the wind. I don't think he's played here before either, so it'll be interesting to watch, but why not? One of the hottest golfers right now, of course, a little lesser known, but at 175-1, we might as well take a shot with him. Ryo Hitatsune, 175-1, and you can find that offshore at Bet Online. And for myself, I went with the shorter number, Justin Rose, 30-1 to take down Pebble Beach. He played well earlier, I believe. What was that? The American Express. I could be. It's the tournament that we skipped, so I probably got that wrong, to be honest with you. But I do like the way Justin Rose has been playing so far to begin this season. That could have been his only tournament as well. But I like it, and this course also sets up well for him. At 30-1, it's not the best number, but when you have Scotty Scheffler 3-1 and Rory McIlroy making his debut, also a short favorite. And again, we can't forget that this is a signature event, so the field is going to be shorter, and there is no cut here at Pebble Beach this weekend. So that's why some of these numbers, like the outrights, like the top 10s, top 20s, tournament finishes, are a little bit shorter because of that. There's no cut, as well as there being smaller field. And of course, Scotty Scheffler, 3-1 favorite. Absolutely ridiculous. We will be rooting against Scotty this weekend. It is what it is. I'd like to have an entertaining weekend, something to root for on Sunday. So let's get into it and what else we have for our tournament plays. So for me, right now, our tournament wagers were down 12.6 units. We basically broke flat even zero after the Waste Management. No movement at all. Again, like I said, we dropped that Thagala and McNeely top 10. Kind of hurt us, but we didn't go backwards either. It was a winning tournament. We'll move on. Also, I forgot to go over our units, so let me go over that really quick. So right now, our outrights were plus 67 units. Our tournament wagers, like I just said, were down 12.6 units. And on our matchups, we're plus 6.63 units, which is amazing for us to begin the year. We got to keep that going. So that brings us to a total of plus 61.3 units. Again, we're happy if you're a dollar better, $5, $100 better. It doesn't matter. We want to finish in the green every weekend, and we're off to a great start. Let's get back into it and go over our tournament wagers. So Research has Russ Henley to finish in the top 10, plus 210. He did it great here last year, so hopefully he can replicate that. And also Sepp Straka top 20, plus 160. And of course, these can be found onshore. DraftKings, these numbers include ties. Very important distinction between not including ties and including ties. These numbers include ties. That's why they may be shorter, smaller than maybe something you might see at, offshore, bet online. All right. So he only has 2 tournament wagers this weekend. Haas has JT Poston top 10 plus 500. That's a nice one. As well as Shane Lowry top 10 plus 385. And last but not least, Johnny Vegas top 20 plus 760. Would be nice if Johnny Vegas could sneak in there for us. And for myself, I have Justin Rose top 5. Justin Rose top 5 plus 470, as well as Wyndham Clark top 10 plus 485, and Jason Day top 10 plus 305. I like those. We're going to need something to cash this weekend. That way we could start turning that 12 and start building that back up closer to 0 and then get into the green. All right, so let's go over our first round wagers and then we'll get into daily fantasy. All right, so these are our first round matchups, and research is going to start us off with, and his are going to be on Bet Online. Same thing with Haas, except for one, and I'll go over that here in a second. So these are our first round wagers. Research has Tommy Fleetwood over Rory McIlroy plus 109, Daniel Berger over Jake Knapp plus 105, Justin Rose over Matt Fitzpatrick, even money plus 100. Haas has Denny McCarthy over Kurt Kitayama plus 110. Jacob Bridgman over Sam Burns, even money plus 100. And then he also has Hideki Matsuyama upsetting the betting favorite Scotty Scheffler. And you can find this at DraftKings and Bet Online. But the better number, 10-cent better number is over at DraftKings. And that's what we're going to use. That's plus 198 Hideki over Scotty. Let's see if we can get that in. The one tournament that we didn't bet, that we didn't fade Scotty in the first round was last weekend. And of course, that's when Scotty had a bad first round. Hopefully it happens again. All right. And mine that are found on DraftKings, I've got Jordan Spieth over Xander Schauffele plus 125. Akshay Bhatia over Victor Hovland plus 116. And Wyndham Clark over Mr. Two-time winner already this season, Chris Gotterup, plus 118. Again, we're very hot right now with our matchups. It's been going great. We're up plus 6.63 units. I'll take it. So let's keep that going. Now let's go over DraftKings Daily Fantasy. And, you know, if you're new to the show and you're new watching with us, we have our DraftKings, basically DFS broken down into 4 categories. We have our big dogs, our second tier players, our mid tier players, and then we have our bottom value picks. Again, this weekend it's a shorter field, so it's going to be a little bit different. But I will tell you, for this weekend, of course you could use Scotty, of course you could throw in Rory, but this weekend we're not going to include those golfers. I think there's a value. I hate using that word, but I think there's better options using lesser salary to spread around to try to take down the big guys. All right, so let's get into it. So in our big dog category, the 4 golfers that we have that I'm starting off with is, of course, who I think is going to win, Justin Rose, 9,400. I like that. It's a great price there. Same thing with Russell Henley, 9,200. He's in that same tier, a big dog tier. That's not including Scotty, Rory. Also, you know, he's not my favorite golfer, but he does play well here, and that's Patrick Cantlay. And to round out the big dogs, Maverick McNeely. I think he has a great shot here. I was borderline going to pick him top 10, but I decided not to. But he's in my big dog category for DFS lineups. All right, second tier, Jason Day at 8,500, Sam Burns at 8,000, Daniel Berger at 8,000, Shane Lowry 7,900. Now with our mids, this is, I don't know how much I could trust this guy, but he does play well here. And if it is going to be windy, you might as well take a shot with him. And that's Jordan Spieth at 7,400. Also, Nick Taylor, he's also played well here. He's played well this season. Nick Taylor, for me, is kind of a sneaky pick, whether you throw him in a lineup or you bet on him top 10, top 20. I almost picked him, but he didn't make my cut. I went with Jason Day instead. I guarantee you I will be regretting it by this time Saturday. All right. Akshay Bhatia, kind of cheap here, 7,300. And JT Poston, Haas likes him. Great place to put him. 7,200 JT Poston. And for the bottom value picks, again, he makes our list. Keith Mitchell at 7,200. Wyndham Clark, great number here, 100. Sam Stevens has been strong all year, made every cut, and he's coming in at 7,000. That's a great value pick at the very bottom. Why not Sam Stevens? And for me, I've got Andrew Novak, 6,900, and a couple other sneaky picks that didn't make the cut, but you know we're always on them, and that's Ryo Hitsatsune. I believe he's also around the 6,500 number. Always great to plug in. And last but not least, Tom Hoge. Tom Hoge plays well here, especially if it's going to be windy. I don't know how many times he's screwed us the last couple weeks. So I am hesitant about adding Tom Hoge, but he does track well here. So I don't blame anybody that puts him in a lineup. And if I don't have him in a lineup, I guarantee you he will go crazy. So better safe than sorry, Tom Hoge. Let me say it again. So far on the season, we're up 61.03 units. We're looking to win a second tournament in a row. We've got our outrights. Research has Akshay Bhatia 70-1. Haas has Ryo Hitsatsune 175-1. And I have Justin Rose at 30-1. Our tournament wagers are there. And as always, thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, rolling. And we'll see y'all probably tomorrow night for the second round matchups. I have to double check to see what time the tee times are. If I'm able to post it at 7, 8 a.m., I'll probably do that. But if it's an early tee time, I always post it the night before. So be on the lookout for it. That's why it's important to subscribe. You always just check in on YouTube to see when we post it for the matchups. But we'll always, unless something comes up, post on first round, second round, third round, and our final round. So good luck to us. Let's win a second tournament in a row, and we'll see y'all next time.